That loan contract I wrote up for you is just random scribbles on a scrap of parchment. I would suggest that you stay out of debt in the future, Kupo. Live within your means and all. As the old proverb goes, a frugal Moogle is a happy Moogle. Allow me, though, to present you with one last luxury. The Crystal Prize in our regrettably cancelled Mega Mark Bonanza Ramza Palooza, Kupo. Consider it an apology for this whole hullabaloo, and a token of enduring goodwill between adventurers and Moogle kind, Kupo.
From Provo, Utah, this is the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast with your hosts, Joseph DeGolier.
That's me.
And Caleb Schweiss. This is Ultima Final Fantasy. Welcome to another episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. I am Joe.
I am Caleb.
And today, Schweiss, we are going to be tackling the 3 add-on scenario mission quest things that were included in Final Fantasy XI. Officially, Schweiss, ending our campaign, unless they add a new expansion, which they probably won't.
Yeah.
Officially ending our time in Final Fantasy XI.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
It's kind of weird. I almost was sad for a little while. I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to get on here. And
we had a false ending before.
Yeah, we did. But then the next day came and I forgot about that sadness. So it was a good experience. But I personally am happy that it is over. I'm glad to have gone through and played all of the Final Fantasy XI stuff. We didn't do anything from Abyssia, but most of that seems to be like grinding for items and stuff like that. It's not really a overarching storyline, so we weren't interested.
No, there are quest lines in those.
Yeah.
As there are these missions, which were included, I think, around the same time as 2009 era.
Yeah.
So these are the main missions, and then there's another, there's other little quests, but they're quest lines. They're not missions, so they're not actually
story.
The main story.
Yeah, plus a lot of the items that you would get are outdated anyway. The ambuscade items that we ground out are higher quality than the Abyssia stuff because it was released later. So there's really no point to doing it.
Nope, not at all.
So
we did every single mission in Final Fantasy XI.
Yeah.
We are done.
And
it's crazy.
It is pretty crazy. Let's talk about our play times. So both of us had around 15 days. Mine was 15 days, 15 hours, 5.5 minutes. Yours was 15 days, 22 hours, 36 minutes, 42 seconds. And I haven't canceled my account yet.
I did.
I canceled it, but then it full on canceled it. And I was like, what the hell? Because I thought I was just saying, okay, let it roll to the next payment and then don't charge me again. Was what I thought I was doing, but instead it was just cutting it, severing its limbs, and then I couldn't log on again, so I had to go reactivate. Thankfully, they didn't charge me again, or I would have been pissed, but I'm going to have to go in and do that.
No, that's really odd, because when I canceled mine, it was like, okay, your service will be ended on October 27th.
Yeah, that's what it did the last time I canceled, too. So I don't know.
You must have pressed some different button.
Yeah, I must have.
Did the same thing, right?
But that's where we're logging off, possibly for good. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I would say definitely for good. And once again, unless they decided to release another full expansion.
In which case, we would be back, and it would usurp most games that we'll be playing in the future. So
yes,
because how we have it set up now, if anything comes out in the tier 1 and tier 2 positions, once we get to the spin-off series, we're going to have to go back and play those because it's the right thing to do.
That's right. So when the 14 expansion comes out, it will be, well,
I think we'll be on the other 14.
If we're on tier 3, then we will have to backtrack. But if not, we'll have to go from there. We do have a question this week about our order of things.
Yeah,
we'll get to that soon.
Fun. We love talking about the order.
I love talking about it too. I loved being on the show and talking about the show.
Yeah, I know. It's sweet. Showception.
So let's not talk about the show for a second. Schweiss, where are you in Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings?
I am at the end of chapter 6, I believe. I've been doing a lot of grinding, and I can almost beat the quest I'm on. I think this is the quest that some of our listeners out there were warning us about, because they didn't want to give out spoilers, and it would have definitely spoiled something that, frankly, pisses me off.
Who dies? Oh.
At this moment. But the fight is brutal, and I've done all of the extra missions that I can. Now, there are 2 missions that I can't. There's one where you have to fight Hashmal, and there's one where you have to fight Ultima, and they're fucking ridiculous, man. I can't do shit. Ultima has this beam move that just, it hits and it just fucking wipes. It's ridiculous. It's like she's the fucking UFO from Independence Day. It's sick, dude. There's no escape. So I'm going to have to probably come back to those because I do want to do the extra missions in the game. The last one is actually, the title of it is Battle on the Big Bridge, and it's a fight against Gilgamesh. So,
oh, cool.
I don't know.
That's kind of FF5-ish.
Yeah. I don't know if you have to do all of them to get up to that point, but I was kind of using them as a way to level grind without going back and just pointlessly fighting monsters, actually getting things done. But it's to the point now where I have to just go level grind a little bit.
It's odd to me that there is level grinding in this game.
Yeah, you can go back into the old areas you've been and like choose to fight monsters and collect resources and stuff. But
yeah, I would just do the easy ones over and over again, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you get more for actually succeeding in it. So if they are easy, you could just keep grinding through the same one.
Yeah, I haven't gone back and done anything extra. Currently I'm in chapter 4 somewhere, and the last thing I remember doing was fighting Shiva. Yeah, that was a pretty fun mission. I've only had real trouble with one mission, and it was because I was just killing the guys in the wrong order, so I was getting pincered.
Getting wiped.
Yeah, and then I went online, saw a dude do it on YouTube, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I had
real trouble with the the fucking what the hell was it? The sneak mission thing. I didn't realize you can go into the bush and hide.
Oh, that was easy as shit.
Yeah, but okay, you know what? There's no room for a sneaking mission in a game like this, though. Regardless of how easy it was for you. This is not a game with a mechanic for sneak. There's no sneak stat. There's no...
Man, I got all the treasure.
There's no nothing. This shouldn't be. This is the thing that should not be, is the sneaking mission. It has no place in Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings. But I'm feeling pretty confident about the game. I'm enjoying it so far. The gameplay is at least refreshing. It's like a weird...
It's so different.
It's like almost like a MOBA. It's like we're playing League.
Almost.
You summon
Actually,
dudes.
you know what? Almost like a MOBA. It's like
RTS MOBA mix kind of thing.
Probably closer because you also control the guys around you. It's probably closer to something like Warcraft 3.
Yeah. Because you control the minions is what it is.
Which is, of course, what MOBAs came out of. It came out of Warcraft 3. But your control of the minions and your kind of control of these bases, and you're just slowly, like, incrementally taking over a map. It's almost like Warcraft 3 had sex with Final Fantasy 12.
It is, yeah.
And produced this thing that may or may not be missing a few chromosomes, but
yeah, they may have been a little more closely related than we thought.
Maybe they use the same engine or something.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Public service announcement, people, check.
But no, I am finding it refreshing. I like that I can play the thing that's sapping my time away. Of course, I got plenty of time. That's another problem. But the thing that's sapping my time away, it's not Final Fantasy XI anymore. It's a thing that I can do on the train.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful.
Dude, I almost wish I had a Vita and would have bought World of Final Fantasy on the Vita. Because I have so much more time to play this handheld game than any other game. Like, it's... For some reason, it's just easier to get motivated to pick up the DS.
That's true.
Like, you don't have to... Especially if you're going to try to stream. Because for me, it's like, oh, man, do I want to plug all this in? Like, this is going to take, like, 20 minutes before I even start. But with this thing, it's like, flip it open, and you're going. Yeah. Plus, you can do it at work.
I'm still kind of a console guy, but...
I definitely am, too.
Right now, the break from FF11, which was a very confined, must do this at this time with these people sort of thing.
Yeah.
The break from that is nice.
Yeah, we get our freedom in a way.
In a way, yeah. And then I have to do Nude Clan games on the PS3 regardless. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what wins this week, but
I think I know what'll win.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Anyway, I'm enjoying my time in Revenant Wings right now.
It's good. There are some parts that make me get really pissed at the game because there's some gameplay elements that are really shitty.
Selecting everybody.
Yeah,
when you're trying to select a large group, sometimes the selection
there's not enough room on the screen.
Shit.
That and sometimes there's some frustrating things, but we'll get into that on our review of that game.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, right now, guys, if you're joining us for the first time, you can go to ultimafinalfantasy.com and find everything there. You can tweet me at Joseph Vigolier.
Me at UFF Podcast.
You can go to youtube.com/ultimafinalfantasy, see past gaming videos, see the episodes as they're done live on twitch.tv/ultimafinalfantasy every Saturday if you want to check that out. And you can like our page at Facebook, facebook.com/ultimafinalfantasy. And, you can always leave us a message on our phone number, 385-204-3921.
Yeah.
385-204-3921.
If you guys want to support the show, there's a couple ways to do that. You guys can get on our Patreon. $1 a month gets you all of our episodes early. And hopefully we'll eventually have more bonus episodes that are Patreon exclusive when we find the time.
We do have a drunk commentary of Advent Children that is available.
That was a blast.
If you want to check it out.
The next morning, not so much of a blast. There's also a Amazon link on our page. If you guys shop online a lot, you can click through that, order your stuff, and we'll get a small kickback. Doesn't cost you anything, and it helps us out more than you could know.
Let's get to the news, Schweiss.
Yes, always. If I can find the jingle. News.
Real quick, thank you and shout out to Shinru for giving us the news. And by the way, once a week, I think every Friday, he releases an article with what he thinks is the biggest piece of news of the week. So you can check that out at ultimafinalfantasy.com. Before we get to that, there are some, I think Sora is going to be added to World of Final Fantasy in a couple months or something like that.
Yeah, there's that.
And then there's a 14 patch that's also going to be added, that's adding a bunch of floors to a dungeon and a few other things as well.
Okay.
However, big news. Mobius Final Fantasy is headed to PC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I downloaded it, but I never actually played it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then, no.
Let me see if I have it on my phone. I think I might. Let me see.
So it's this November in Japan. They will have.
I got Exvius and Record Keeper. That's what I got. And I've never played them.
So they're also holding an early registration campaign where fans will be given bonuses based on the number of registrations. So that's cool if you're in Japan.
Yeah, we'll probably get it eventually.
Oh, I'm sure we will. Yeah, there's no doubt there for me.
And then, of course, World of Final Fantasy is out, right, Schweiss?
Yeah, it's out.
You got it?
I paid for it, but it hasn't arrived yet.
It hasn't arrived yet.
They were trying to gouge me on shipping. They were just like, oh, okay. What do you want? Do you want the overnight for like $20, or do you want the we're going to carry it by foot and it's going to cost you $8? So I'm like, all right, by
use
foot.
The Pony Express.
Yeah. And since I'm not going to play the damn thing for God knows how long, I figured why rush it here? I'm just gonna let it show up whenever it shows.
That's probably a good point.
Yeah.
Apparently, the demo, if you play the demo, it can unlock some Magitech armor for you, though.
Yeah,
in the real game.
Magitech Armor P Mirage. Not sure. I think the Mirages are what you use to attack. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. I haven't played it yet, and. Yeah. So if you guys played the demo, or if you haven't played the demo, get on that so that you can get that extra item.
So I know we hardly ever talk about the Twitch chat, but Stolas asked if because Mobius is going on PC, that means we'll play it now. And then Skull Hottie, a true listener, goes, nah, if it's a mobile, no. And it's just it's just a port of the mobile, so it's under the mobile game. And yes, you are right, Skull Hottie. However, if you are a listener and wish to send in your review, just record yourself on an MP3 file and send it to us, man, for 10 minutes reviewing the game. Feel free.
Yeah, and even if we were to do something like that, it would be so far in the future that you probably wouldn't care anymore, because that would be after the stuff that would have been
after Kingdom Hearts
and
after
Kingdom
Chrono
Hearts,
Trigger.
Yeah.
After Bravely Second.
Yeah, a game that's not even Final Fantasy in any fucking way.
Bravely Third or whatever.
Yeah. Bravely Quattro by then, probably.
All right, so we got a Final Fantasy 15 trailer.
Oh my god.
Oh, wait. There's a couple of them.
Oh, okay.
This first one is about the English voice cast. And so I have not watched anything this week, guys. I know there was
fuck?
What the heck was that?
It's like losing its mind. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
The screen was trying to make me have a seizure.
So now there's been a couple of trailers released for 15. I have not seen any of them. So if you guys will bear with me for however long it takes to get through these trailers, I'm excited to see these things.
I have, but all right, let's do it. This is the Final Fantasy 15 voice cast part 3.
Have I played any of the previous Final Fantasy games? Yeah.
Robbie
absolutely.
Damon.
I played all of them.
Yeah,
voice of
the very first one I
Prompto.
played was,
that guy should be the wingman, dude. Dude
blowing
with the
on it
wing
to get
arm.
it
He
to
looks
work.
like it.
Final Fantasy. But I haven't beat them all. I'm just playing them all.
My favorite Final Fantasy is a bit controversial. I enjoyed 5, and I enjoyed 8. Go ahead, take me on. Come on.
That's the voice of Noctis.
Noctis, you're wrong, but that's okay.
I like 5.
No, 5's great, yeah. And 8's fun, too.
I
What
like
appeals
8.
me most about Final Fantasy 15 has to be the epic scale of the game. It's a franchise that
So Ignis
stellar.
is actually
It's been a
British.
thrill to be a
That's
part
good.
of it and
Yeah,
to
that is good.
discover it and to sort of understand.
Gladiolus better
what it's
be
like creating the world of it.
A beefy.
to be a part of something that is this legacy, these epic adventures is just so much
man, I
fun.
am
The
pretty
thing about
stoked for
Final
this shit.
Fantasy, in terms of the animation and the color and lighting in the video game, with
the boob
every
jiggle.
game that comes out,
what?
you can see there's a jump. There's a big jump.
I didn't know until I think
Gladiolus
the
does
third
not
callback
match.
that this was
No.
Final Fantasy. And I
Some
was
balding
like,
old
"What?"
man.
The art design is gorgeous. The character design is gorgeous. The world is something I've never seen before. So being part of this means a great deal to me.
The memories.
How are their
The
memories?
people that I worked with were phenomenal.
Everyone I've found working on this game has been really committed and professional at what they do, and I feel like you're at the highest level of your game.
And it all turned out that from these random actors, we all ended up being really compatible friend-wise, which was a huge bonus.
A lot of fun memories involve getting to hear various cohorts or friends' audio passes when we go and record, hearing scenes they've already done, and then being able to throw in outtakes and
Yeah, they don't
bloopers.
record all
Shut up,
together.
Robbie.
Yeah.
Shut up, Ray.
Keep
Stop
that
it.
in,
or
keep that in
occasionally
mind.
leaving those in the actual.
I think this would be a
audio
lot of
file
fun
next
to
time
do
they come
voice
in
acting.
To go ahead and throw off their performance. It's a little game we voice actors play to kind of tease each other, drop little bombs in the audio booth.
I have numerous fun memories of
There
working
we
on
go.
this
We
game.
get to know who she's
My
playing.
favorite that sticks out to me is one of the days an actor had brought in a magazine that had Final Fantasy 15 on the front of it. And it's the first time we saw something that was tangible, that we were thinking, this is real. It's actually happening. We're not just in these little studios. It's happening outside, guys.
It's first time acting in it.
An unforgettable journey.
What appeals to me most about Final Fantasy 15 is
Oh, man, that guy
themes
looks great.
that are involved, and I think that's a huge part of Final Fantasy games. You know, you don't want to narrow
Hope he has
something
the
that takes
Ken
50 to
Sid
80
voice.
hours to finish into, one sentence. But it's also kind of beautiful, too, if you can do that. For me, this one is about a coming-of-age story wrapped up in fealty and brotherly love. That idea of brotherly love is something that the world could use a little bit of now. So knowing that you can go through life and your constants that are your friends and your family can change, but you can still be you and you can still grow. If you can get that through to a player in a game, I think, mission accomplished.
Noctis'
Nice.
journey and
young
his
Regis there.
path with his friends
Yeah.
is one of loss,
They find they get the
acceptance.
they get the dude who
that
played.
That guy has the
darkness,
same
world is
haircut.
full of evil, even contesting with your own
Oh, yeah.
internal struggles.
was-
It's coming
As
from
young
that
Regis.
naive, youthful frustration that things in the
I'm
world
in,
aren't how
man.
they should
I'm
be,
fucking
and then deciding
in.
to accept responsibility to make changes to form the world to that vision of what you want it to be.
It's about people really going after what they care about. Just finding what it is that they love and care about.
His lips back
and
there,
going for it
freaky.
and giving up absolutely everything that they have in order to pursue the greater good.
The story of Final Fantasy is epic, it's beautiful, and it's something you have to experience.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's real nice. You talk about all the memories they made listening to the other actors' other recordings.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's a lot of fun.
All I'm sure it is. Schweiss, we got a huge list of things that have been confirmed for Final Fantasy 15. You want to just go through them?
Sure. Fire, ice, and thunder magic. Absorbing elements.
I don't even know what that means. So you must be able to absorb elements like drawing magic from Final Fantasy VIII, you know?
They can be absorbed at various locations on the field. The following screenshot shows Noctis
like
absorbing fire element. But similar absorption points also exist for ice and thunder. Okay. So it is like...
So it is, yeah, it's like a draw point in FF8. Well, that doesn't mean that it's going to... hopefully it doesn't affect your stats. Hopefully it's just like you get that thing so you can use it.
I think that's a great idea, honestly, though.
If it's done right. If it's done wrong, we know what happens.
Looking at it here, it looks like it's going to be done right. He's just pulling it out of something that looks fire-related, and that makes sense.
Sure.
Having just a random circle on the ground that has, like... blue light coming from it and it being a random element. It doesn't really make as much sense to me. But, I don't know, we'll see. All right, so ring magic, death. We saw some death last time.
We did, it was cool.
We got some demons. Fast travel, that's good. Fast travel is a fantastic thing to have. Sydney's services.
Hey now.
Yeah, it'll cost you. It's summons, we know that. Gaia's Wrath, we got a little screenshot here. It looks fucking amazing. Let's make sure we get that. Look at that shit. The ground is just ripping apart.
Oh, that looks amazing.
Gaia's Wrath moved by Titan there. Ramu, Judgment Bolt, we already know about that. Carbuncle.
Lightning.
Moogles. The Moogles still are terrifying to me.
Yeah, we got a Moogle video that I haven't seen. We're going to get to that.
So, a lot of screenshots showing new areas. Apparently, you can buy a skewer of grilled meat, which is awesome. You can get a nice kebab.
So, in the chat, Stolas is saying that it's apparently the drawing magic or whatever. It's restricted to 3 elements.
Yeah, those 3 we mentioned.
And it's a synthesis to make spells of some kind.
Oh, that's cool.
Something's going on there. I guess we'll find out when we play the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, we got more Moogle gameplay here. I guess that's the next trailer we're going to check out. So.
Twice, it's almost November. I would like to say that these last few months, especially this year, it's been a year for Final Fantasy and it's been a year for metal.
Yeah, it has.
So, like, as far as, like, my fanness is concerned, I am going crazy this year.
Yeah.
We not only had a new Megadeth CD, right? Avenged Sevenfold yesterday fucking dropped a CD without telling anybody that they were going to drop it.
Oh, cool.
And so I don't have any money for that, and I'm just like, I'm watering at the mouth. It sounds like Dream Theater. It's crazy. You should listen to it. And then Metallica's got a CD coming out this month, and a new Final Fantasy coming out this month. And then World of Final Fantasy was also a big release that came out.
Yeah, it's a great year, 2016.
It's insane.
It's fantastic.
For fandom of both Final Fantasy and metal, which is what this show is all about.
It's true. And we had Megadeth come this year. We saw them.
Yeah.
We could have saw them twice, but they fucked us on the second one.
That's true.
Dave, all right, we're going to just have to let it go. I know he's an avid listener. I don't want to trash him too much on it, but
yeah, it's a crazy, crazy year, dude.
Yeah, it is. It's a great year to be a mother effer.
Great year to be a fan.
God fucking damn it! This video is losing its shit. All right, you ready to watch this Moogle gameplay?
I'm ready.
Oh, Jesus!
Okay, so
he just chucked a Moogle. The Moogle's getting kicked around. Oh, so the
it's
Moogle
like a
is a
distraction
decoy
move with the Moogle doll?
Yeah. They hate it too. Like, what the fuck is that?
Kill it.
Get that fucking thing out of here. So it lasts until the Moogle's destroyed, apparently.
So you must be able to get better and better Moogles for distraction. That's what I would assume. Unless it's just a one-time object use sort of thing.
So it's either so offensively ugly that everything wants to kill it, or Moogles are like total dickholes in this universe and everyone hates them.
Maybe it's like filled with beef jerky, like a pinata of beef jerky that he's throwing out.
I could see that.
I assume beef jerky because the behemoth wants it. I assume it's a carnivore, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's raw meat. Maybe they're just carrying around a big doll, stuffed doll full of raw meat.
Oh man, he just melted those guys. That's really cool. I don't know why it's
that's awesome. The ice
just did a blizzard spell and it looks epic. Dude. Moogle's just getting trashed. A Moogle a day keeps the bad guys away. Except for that last guy who survived.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
the Moogle still looks like a freaky gonzo.
Yeah, it's still a terror to behold, but it is a useful terror to behold. Yeah.
Our last piece of news was apparently this awesome trailer called the Final Fantasy 15 Omen trailer, and it may have been oversold to me, but I am going to watch this, and you guys are going to listen to it for about 4 minutes, so forgive us.
Yeah, we're doing full-on trailers this time. Yeah. This is a big one. We can't skip this. Let's do it. The Omen. Yeah, let's get Joe. Make sure you see it perfectly. Let's get double Joe, in fact. There we go.
Kingslave 2.
Yeah.
To crown the King of Light is the calling of a crystal. Only the true king, anointed by the crystal, can purge our star of its scourge.
die before you are satisfied.
I have seen many deaths, but now I'm only looking forward to one. And then I can rest.
You will take responsibility, you know.
As must we all.
May the gods forgive me.
That is the best Final Fantasy trailer I have ever seen, dude.
Yeah, that probably beats all the 13 trailers.
Beats him with a fucking stick. That thing was amazing.
No, there was a really good 13 trailer.
Oh yeah, the one that they were lying about the gameplay with. Yeah, that one was great.
No, not that one. I mean, that one was a good trailer, but there was one that was like it was similarly very like emotional and very quiet, which of course none of 13 is. Well, it's plenty emotional, but there's never like a moment that's like, ooh, like an emotional sort of a real depth moment. And there was a part where like Lightning was crying or something like that, and she tried to not cry. And there was a good trailer wrapped around that one.
Yeah.
If you remember that trailer, if you don't, it doesn't matter. That was a very good trailer.
I know, that should have been.
I officially now have no idea what the fuck is going on in 15, and I am really excited to play it because that gave so much more, like, there's a lot more mystery and stuff, that things I haven't explored, that I don't know about, and that nothing that's been revealed that I've, witnessed myself through the materials that we watched through this podcast. Of course, I haven't done any like research like some people have, like trying to find all the information on 15 that they can. I mean, there might have been some stuff in there about that, but like the Dark Noctis figure, the weird dream sequences, what does the wolf mean? What is Regis saying at the end there?
Yeah, it looks awesome, dude.
Fuck, dude, wow. They should have opened with that trailer.
Yeah, that would have been insane if they would have done that.
Wow.
That's sick.
Wow. No, wow, that was a good trailer. If you haven't seen the Omen trailer for 15, go watch it. Really? I mean, you just listen to it, but go watch it.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, wow. I gotta let that sink in for a second. That was crazy.
Yeah, man. One of the dudes at work was showing me the Dishonored 2 trailer, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. And I'm like, you should check this one out. And he's like, yeah, it was a really good trailer. Like, I kind of want to play the game again. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, boy.
You should have played this one the whole time. Would have been the ultimate hype train.
Okay, Schweiss. Well, we have some... We got a month before 15 comes out.
Yeah, dude.
And it's really going to be like a month and 2 days because I ordered it on Amazon. So... before I can even touch it.
Yeah.
It'll be out. But before we get to that, Schweiss, we have to talk about some Final Fantasy 11 add-ons, yo.
Again.
Let's do it.
More 11.
So, Schweiss, the first expansion or add-on that we went through was Shantoto Ascension.
Yes.
And it was actually the third. There's three of these things, right? There's Moogle Kupo Data.
Yep.
And then there's Crystalline Prophecy, and then there's Shantoto Ascension. The order that it came out in was actually Crystalline, Moogle, and then Shantoto.
Yeah, but screw the order. One. We're fighting the man
But
here.
Schweiss went right ahead and started Shantoto, so might as well do
Shantoto.
Yes.
Okay.
So Shantotto starts. She's kind of up to no good, and tries
started making trouble in the neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how to counter that. I was ready, but I couldn't. I can't think this morning. She tries to open up a new dimension as a sort of experiment, but she makes a mistake in her calculations, and a giant explosion goes off at her mansion.
Dude, we could do a full song spoofing the Prince of Bel-Air thing.
Yes, we could.
Easily.
Was there anything else to that?
Well, try to open up one little dimension and my village got scared.
Enter Domina Shantotto. So Dominatrix Shantotto, as I called her. She's like an evil half of Shantotto, apparently, who brings along a bunch of Tarutaru clones to take over Vanadiel. She's trying to form a new Shantotto empire, and she invites Nooborious to go on a quest to power up 6 protocrystals across the land, which is where we got to fight those one things, like the what did we got to fight like what are normally summons in the other games. You remember?
Oh
that?
yeah.
So like Leviathan and stuff like that, which. Because we were so over leveled, they were really easy fights.
Yeah, they were.
But the
way
designs on the guys were really cool.
Yeah, that was a really fun aspect. Fighting those dudes.
So after that quest, Nooborious is then sent to assassinate Aldo, and Nooborious isn't really. He's like playing along with it, but he's not actually, going to do this. And so he goes to meet Aldo, expecting to fight him, I think, and then eventually. He explains the situation, and Aldo kind of gets to work helping Nooborious figure out what's going on. They find out that Shantotto is being held in Romave, like the real Shantotto, and when they reach her, they found out that she's not actually the real Shantotto. She's like unusually kind Shantotto. She's very nice, and it's just odd. And apparently in the accident that Shantotto had, Shantotto was sort of split into two, at least that's what they think, one being the nice Shantotto and the other being Dominatrix Shantotto.
Yeah.
Much like Agent Smith, Dominatrix Shantotto's next move is to make everyone in Vanadiel her clone.
Yes. Which
then prompted me during one of the cutscenes to send over a video of being John Malkovich.
Yeah.
In which John Malkovich goes into his own head and sees a whole bunch of other John Malkoviches, and all they say is John Malkovich.
That's exactly what this felt like. Shantotto.
God damn, I love that movie. Even after Nooborious defeats her, she still lets out the curse that makes everybody into Shantottos. What happens then makes kind of little sense, but the real Shantotto, apparently, who wasn't either one of those split halves of Shantotto, she comes back from an alternate dimension, in like an alternate Vanadiel that she tried to fix or something, and then the two become huge kaiju Shantottos, which is awesome.
Yeah.
They're giant monster Shantottos that are like fighting in the background in slow motion. It's sweet.
Yeah, it was great.
It is sweet. They become two huge kaiju Shantottos, have an epic fight, and it results in the real Shantotto lifting the curse, and everything is back to normal. And the two halves of Shantotto are they're gone now, and the real Shantotto is what remains.
Yeah, the awesome Dr. Seuss Shantotto that we all know and love.
So we were told that this was the most awesome quest line in the game. Schweiss, what did you think of Shantoto Ascension?
I loved it. I thought Shantotto was awesome. I really enjoyed the fighting. I enjoyed the battles against the various summons that we partook of, and I also enjoyed the giant Shantottos at the end.
The giant Shantottos were probably the best part.
And the Shantotto.
It was just kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
There was something that really pissed me off about this particular
add-on. The crafting? Yeah. There's a lot of crafting that we had to do to get this done.
We had never done crafting in the game.
Yeah.
Let's
unfortunately, there's a bunch of downtime that we've had over the last like year and a half that we played 11, and moments where we didn't really have anything to do, so we were like, oh, I'll just log off. Yeah, don't do that. Go craft. Look up the Shantotto mission line and craft up to where you need to craft up to.
And we talked about this on the show, but we didn't know where to craft. We thought like the synthesizing buckets were the crafting place.
Yeah, apparently you just craft from your inventory. You are the crafter.
Which is ridiculous.
It is. It's weird.
There was what's really pissing me off is that no one on the internet said it's in your inventory. And
I know.
You go through this menu and then that's how you craft.
Yeah.
They were all like, you put these items together and blah, blah, blah. It's done. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But apparently it was within the 20 menus of FF11.
And
the ability to synthesize.
We took it on in a pretty efficient way, I think. We both had to do our alchemy level up to a certain point to make the finished product, to create this kit, essentially. It was like a debuff. What is your debuff moves called in 11? I can't remember what they're called, but that's what the kit was, and we had to create one, and it was an item that was locked to our character, so I had to craft this thing. It wasn't something that I could get Credital or any other adventurer to craft for me. I had to do it myself. So both of us had to get our alchemy level up to a certain point, and then I started working on woodworking, and then I had Joe work on the leather working, and we were able to kind of craft each item for each other and then craft the final product. It took like 6 hours, 5 hours maybe.
Yeah, there's one annoying quest per each one of these add-ons.
Yeah, one that's just a pain in the ass. It's crazy.
But to be clear, I mean, these add-ons, by the way, they all came out in around 2009, a few weeks apart from each other, and you had to buy them each for $10.
Yeah.
I do not think that is a price that is worthy of this quest line, frankly.
Yeah, you didn't really get anything super awesome out of it.
It was about a third the size of a true expansion, just in terms of story content, and there wasn't any game content it was adding to, at least nothing especially large.
Yeah.
So this is I'm when I read that's how it was released, I was kind of like, ooh, that's
I don't know if I would have wanted that.
Not worth it. The next one we did was Moogle Kupo Data, which was a similarly kind of lighthearted adventure.
Yes.
So the Adventurer's Moogle, which is the one in Nooborious' Moogle house, right?
Yeah.
He runs into some Moogle mafia troubles when he is informed that he's been kicked out of the Mog House Management Union.
Ooh.
Following an investigation, Moogle, I called him Mog in the thing, but I think they just call him Moogle. I think everybody's name is just Moogle in this. At least the Moogle is.
Yeah.
Moogle gets trapped in a room in Juneau, and Nooborious has to get the ingredients together to give Shantotto in order to free him from this curse that apparently he was trapped in.
Yeah, which it turned out was actually something Shantotto did. It was pretty funny.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I totally
there was
missed
a
that.
little cutscene where Shantotto was like, oh yeah, I know how to take care of this, and then it was kind of implied that Shantotto did it.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was a weird, not really connected to the mobsters thing that happened.
Oh, I thought it was. Okay. All right, so Dom Cupelieri.
Cupela.
Anyway, who's totally the Don, so he's totally the Godfather.
Yeah.
The Moogle Union boss informs Moogle that he has to pay a large fee. Desperate, Moogle asks Nooborious to find his secret savings, but even that turns out to not be enough money due to some bullshit interest that Dom had added on to his fee.
And this is
the annoying quest of the Moogle.
Kinda. It was really easy for me, but what you do is you have to go rent a chocobo, and you have to run it to a particular area. The area is randomized in the quest line, and you have to go chocobo digging. So this is something that I thought 13 originated. No.
Nope.
11. Chocobo digging mission, except for there is no bloop thing that pops up and the chocobo knows it's nearby. You have to check.
No. Far worse than that. So you have to give your chocobo the Gasol
green, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you only buy a stack of 12 because you're not you think that's all that you're gonna need.
Well, Nooborious buys a stack of 12.
It was. Now, you go to this area, and every time you feed the chocobo in a certain place, it'll give you a message, which you then have to take that message, look at the Wikia, and that'll tell you exactly how many feet away, and also the message tells you in what direction it is. Now, that's very loose in the world of Final Fantasy XI, so really, you're going around, and it's like, oh, it's northeast, and it looks like it's about 500 feet, so I have to walk this way for however far. I know there's ways to measure it in FF11, but I don't know how. I'll measure. I'll go as far as I think it is for 5, and then I'll give them another Gestalt green, and then I'll give you another fucking stupid hint. And I was in a point where it was dude, it was one square. If the last 4 Gestalt greens, I was circling around in this tiny little area. It's very exact. Where you have to dig for it. It's not like a sort of roundabout. It's the game, so thus you can't have the player doing all this bullshit stuff. No, you do. And I had 1 Gestalt green by the time I found the item that I needed.
I bought a bunch and I only used 6. But Stolas brings up a good point. The Chocobo Hot and Cold from 9. That's a digging game. I forgot about that.
Okay.
We didn't do it this time, so
no.
I totally forgot. Correction. But this one, I don't know. I didn't do the one in 9, I guess, so I can't really say. But this one seemed like it was kind of what they based it off of from 13.
On the Wikia guide, it was described as it's sort of like Chocobo Hot and Cold. So I assume it's something. Yeah.
Okay.
I assume it's something in that sort of range. I didn't do Hot and Cold either.
Yeah.
That was a pain in the butt quest. Another pain in the butt thing I think it was in this expansion. I don't remember what item you had to go get, but you had to go into this area that had 2 doors that you had to go through. And you had to get things through those doors, and you had to buy certain items that'll let you through. Otherwise, you would have to get them in a drop, and luckily they were in the auction house. It was just a pain in the dick.
Yeah, there were a lot of pain in the ass moments in these.
So, let's see, where was I at? Oh, yeah, bullshit interest. So it gets even worse when they kidnap his girlfriend for ransom, which then makes the Moogle lose his property to goblins. And then a cat burglar, Nana Amigo, is sent to teach him a lesson, in quotes, and Nooborious has to swoop in to protect him. So this Moogle is in deep shit.
Yeah, he's got the loan sharks coming after him.
And at the very last thing, he gets deceived again when he's invited to Castle Zaval, and he's invited there to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And it turns out that another new Moogle that we see every once in a while named Rico is in on a scheme with Dom to bulldoze the Moogle properties to make way for luxury apartments, apparently. And Nooborious fights his way through the entanglement, defeating Rico and his henchmen and knocking an evil gem, apparently, that was controlling Dom from his belly, making him do bad things. Dom decides he's going to quit the mafia, basically, and Moogle goes home. All is well after Nooborious saves the day.
Yeah, and that will be heard. The finale will be heard at the beginning of the episode. So that's what that will be. That's what that was, I guess.
Okay. So, Schweiss, what did you think of Moogle Kupo Tata?
Dude, I loved this one. I thought it was awesome. I made mobster voices for all the Moogles, and it was like spot on for me. I loved it. I thought it was really funny in the end when he like said that he's going to go legitimate. And then I did the Godfather 3 quote where he's like, every time I try to get out, they pull me right back.
Pull me back.
Sweet. That's what it reminded me of. So I thought this one was a blast. I almost like it more.
I tell you what, on its own, it's a fun quest, and it's kind of funny and cheeky, but watching you do the stream and doing the voices along with it, that was probably what made this quest about twice as fun as it normally would be.
Yeah, I would say, the mob voices. And
the Chocobo Han Cold is less bullshit than crafting, so I'll
that is true, yeah.
Shantoto Ascension.
We can't give it too much shit in comparison, but we have one more to go through here.
We have one more, and this is the serious one.
Yes.
So we had 2 add-ons that came out after Crystalline Prophecy that were fun. And they expanded upon, the Moogle character, which isn't really a character. And then they expanded upon Shantotto.
Yeah, which is an awesome character.
This one expands upon Aldo, who's not awesome. But at the beginning of Final Fantasy XI, when you first put in the game, there is a 10-minute cutscene about the war with the Beastmen from a few years ago. And it kind of sets up how everything is now in the world. Now, Aldo, as a young boy, is running away with his sisters from the Beastmen, and his sister lets him up on this ledge that gets him to safety.
Yep.
And then he looks down, and his sister is gone, presumably attacked by the Beastmen. So that's where we're at. Let's remember that. There is a scene when you first enter, I think it's Juno.
Yeah, I think it is.
If you have the expansion installed, this is what happens. You enter Juno for the first time, and a giant crystal randomly appears in the sky over Vanadiel, and everybody on the planet, they begin to hear this song of legend. And then the crystal disappears, and only Aldo, Verena, and you, Nooborious, have remembrance of the event at all. You were the only ones who remembered that this crystal just randomly appeared and this song started.
So the crystal was actually just one of those giant mind wiper things from Men in Black. That's what it was. It gives you the info, and then you happen to have sunglasses on, so you're safe.
There you go. Suddenly, a young boy named Aldo, yes, the same name as the other Aldo, so this is going to be kind of a pain. He freezes time and informs Nooborious that the crystal has chosen him for something. And then Nooborious then sends off to gather a bunch of shit to the seed crystal at Quiffam Island. It turns out that the crystal is really there to destroy the world with its song and is growing more and more powerful. Now, the real Aldo, who I will call Big Aldo, finds out that there's a counterverse that can be sung I still don't know if it's figurative or literal, by the way, after playing through this thing, and I have no idea. Okay. I have no idea if like the song that the reverse song is like a literal song or if it's a figurative song. No idea. And that can make the crystal apparently lose its power.
Oh, that's good.
Fucking with the will of the crystal pisses off some super orthodox mandragoras, I would say.
Mandragoras.
And you have to fight them off.
Yeah.
Which
big fight there. There's a ton of them.
There's a ton of mandragoras in that.
It's like the red square, man. They just keep coming, and they just keep getting blasted too.
So it turns out that little Aldo is the son of Big Aldo's sister from the first cutscene in FF11, named Emmeline. And Aldo is hell-bent on saving her from the ill will of the crystal because apparently, wow, she exists somewhere in this world, right? Mm-hmm. She's not dead like he thought. So Nooborious and Big Aldo go on a quest to find her, and the siblings are momentarily reunited when they find her, but then the crystal takes her back. All is not as it seems. Soon, Emmeline disappears, and little Aldo informs them that he and his mother were both dreams by Emmeline, so powerful that they appeared to be real.
Okay.
Which is the part of this expansion that does not make any sense to me.
Yeah, it gets really weird.
Anyway, so that little Aldo was apparently, I guess his nephew.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But a dream of a nephew. Really weird. Anyway, Nooborious and Aldo have to go up Delphuc's tower, gather the necessary seed crystal pieces, and then stop the seed crystal once and for all.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the seed crystal seeds on us over and over again. It destroyed us, man.
Okay, let's talk about this fucking quest. All right, so it's not only that you have to go up Delphuc's tower, but there have not been sufficient updates on these add-ons like there have been for the other expansions. So level locks still exist.
Yes.
In these expansions.
We're talking level 30, was it?
Level 30. Level 30 going up Delphuc's tower is a death sentence.
Well, it's fine until you get to Delphuc's level 2. Yeah. And then Delphuc's level 3, which is over, it's like half of the zone, and then it's not fine.
So we decided to go up, I think I went up, in the end, like 7 fucking times up Delphuc's tower.
Yeah, so the strategy we took was...
You gotta get an item on each floor, and I didn't know that the first time.
Oh, so you got screwed.
Yeah.
Okay, I read it, and I knew what I was going into, but what we ended up doing was one of us started the quest, and the other one just stayed level 99, and we just walked through with the other person. So we would go up all 12 or whatever levels of Delphuc's tower.
It was 10, but yeah.
And we would collect
12, you're right.
We would collect the material, and the other person would basically do all the killing for us. And then we kind of did it again with, I did it with Joe, and then Joe and me switched roles. Then we did it for Crinitol. And then we get up there, we're all ready, and we just fight. Joe and I fight it. And I'm like, you know what, let's just go in. Because this shouldn't be...
Let's just go. There's a 52-second record on this thing. We got to beat it. Let's just go.
Yeah, and what happened was horror, right? The dude sucked us in. The crystal has a move that, pulls you inside of it, and then you can't do anything. And it did that to me, and Joe was out there just, solo. And it killed us both. And then we did it again. So what happens after you die? All of your key item from grabbing all the little pieces of seed on the ground, pieces of seed crystal.
One floor at a time, yes.
Yeah, one floor at a time. It disappears. It breaks. It's gone. So we had to go up Delphuc's again, and we're like, okay, this time we're doing trusts. We're going to do it right. Not going to take any chances. We go in. Same fucking thing happens. It just sucks me in. It takes away the trusts. You're sitting there. We turn into what do we turn into? Mandragoras for a second, and then it just wrecks us. So we're like, okay, well, I'm done for the night. I can't do this again. I'm pissed. And then we finally do it again with Crinitol, and we beat it. So the third person in there having an extra damage dealer that's not sucked into the crystal every fucking time was really beneficial. We did have to go up the tower.
It was still a pain, and it was still very tough.
Yeah, and we still had to go up the tower again for each of us, and then help Crinitol get up the tower.
We are over-leveled for this quest, and that fight was ridiculous.
Yeah, and I looked at the wiki, and it's huge. There's so many people that are like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, a ton of talk on the wiki.
Yeah, they're like, God, I hate
Pissed
this
off
thing.
people. It's a rough fight.
And I'm glad we saved it for last, not only because of the story tie-in with Aldo and his dead sister.
So it ties the end to the beginning.
Yeah, and it's brutal. Every other fight was like there were pushovers in these other two expansions.
That's Rhapsodies of Vanadiel last battle.
Oh, no. I mean the last add-on scenarios. That's what I meant.
Scenarios,
sorry.
Yeah.
Last Rhapsodies was probably the hardest thing I've done in this game. It was sick.
I would feel less bad about the fight if we could have just done the fight over and over again and not had to go up Delphuc's tower.
Yeah, that part was sick, dude. That took so long. We were like, I could basically run Delphuc's now, probably blinded, like no vision.
No need for map, almost.
Yeah, you just know where it is. It's something that I will bring to my deathbed.
Dude, it was bad. But yeah, that was a crazy fight. In the end, it turns out that despite the visions of the people he witnessed, the real Emmeline is alive and well. I put Will on the write-up, and now I feel like an idiot. She's alive and will somewhere in Vanadiel, going by the name of Matilde, and apparently that's good enough for Aldo, knowing that she is alive somewhere.
Okay.
But it's just her dream that manifested this thing, like called out to the crystal, and the crystal came to destroy stuff. I have no fucking... I when I was watching the ending cutscene and I asked Krinital, I'm like, do you have any idea what's going on?
Yeah,
I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
If Krinital doesn't know, then no one probably knows, because that guy is like... he's crazy with this shit. I personally, I kind of felt like she was dead, and this was just an alternate universe, and kind of like a thing to make Aldo feel okay. I don't know. I don't know if I'm reading into that the wrong way. I don't know if anyone truly knows. Maybe play it again. Someone else for us. Tell us. But it was really confusing. But I thought it was still really cool how it kind of like sealed up that intro cutscene that was amazing when we first got to it. I was like, oh my God. This is sweet. Like, how crazy is that? She helps him up and she just gets canned. That's why I don't think she's alive, because it was very implied that she was done in that cave. I don't know. I don't buy it. I think she's dead.
Okay.
She got smashed, dude.
It's honestly, if I were to play this game if I were to redo the order, I would do these add-on scenarios before doing Seekers of a Duel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I would do them before finishing Rhapsodies of Vanadiel. If you wanted like a good overarching kind of thing.
Yeah, we need to create like an order how to play
like the order of where to play FF11.
I still would say play Rhapsodies only to the point where you get the extra trust and then don't touch it.
Well, that's for a practical purpose, but let's say it wasn't practical and it was only storytelling.
Rhapsodies at the end.
I would just save Rhapsodies to the very end because Rhapsodies ties into all the other stuff.
Right.
And
you can play it along with it, but honestly, if you're just...
I feel like it's better in one go.
Yeah, because then it's a callback.
Yeah.
Instead of like hey, here's this person.
Instead of a supplemental material thing.
Yeah. I would still definitely get the other trust. So, I mean...
What'd you think of Crystalline?
I liked some of it. I thought it was confusing, but it was interesting. I liked the teamwork that was necessitated by this add-on. Like, it was something you can't do. I don't think they
meant for that, but yeah.
What do you think? They accidentally coded this guy to be a sick fuck?
Well, I was talking about the level 30 going up the fucks.
That's
and having someone who's not in your party guide you through.
Maybe not that
kill the enemies on the way.
So they wanted to make it even harder. So they're extra dick on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked it. I think it was probably my least favorite of the three, though.
I agree. I think it was my least favorite because it was the whatever mechanic, whatever magic stuff is going on, it's far too confusing for me to understand.
Yeah, and it just wasn't as interesting as like the Shantottos and the Moogle gangsters. Like, that stuff was just a lot of fun. And this one, I don't know.
However, for like challenge of quests and stuff like that, I think this one has more to offer.
Oh yeah. I didn't think any of this was going to be a challenge.
I think if I were to rank the add-ons, I would rank Moogle as probably the funnest one.
Okay.
And then Shantotto because of that fucking crafting, and then in the last, but it's not that it's bad. It's just in the last, Crystalline Prophecy.
All right, I would echo that.
You would echo that.
I loved Shantotto in the beginning, and I was like, man, I don't think anything can beat this. And then the Moogle one came along. I was like, okay, I think the Moogle one beats it out. It's too funny. Too good. So definitely worth your time, guys. If you're playing through Final Fantasy XI, hit these up, especially since they're free. I mean, everything is free now. The whole game. You can except for the monthly sub.
Not the monthly sub. But
yeah, you get these when you download the game client, I do believe. So hit them up along the way or at the end like us.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, the speed in which we're going through Revenant Wings, now I say that and may dig myself a massive hole with the mission I'm on, kicking my ass over and over again in that game.
Okay.
But the speed we're going through that, I think we set ourselves up to be in a good position for 15 to come out. We obviously wanted to hit the 11 stuff because when I log in and I see Shantotto Ascension, Crystalline Prophecy, and Mugo Kupo Data, I feel incomplete without knowing that I beat them. But now, when I look at it, there's something in the center that's like, I don't know what it is. It just kind of blurs it out. It might be Abyssia, might not be. And I don't worry about those as much, but I feel more completed having those done. And I feel like I got my money's worth because we paid like $25 for this thing. We got the Hog edition on Amazon when we first started the game.
Yep.
And 15 days for that? Yeah. Worth it. We only took 2 months the first time? The game's literally, it's cost us like nothing compared to the amount of fucking time we put into it.
That's a good point.
We started back in...
but how much of that time was sitting around waiting for things to pop?
There was a good chunk.
Yeah.
There was a good chunk. But still, in-game, I was very on top of logging off because I'm obsessed with my numbers and making sure that times are kept track of. Same thing with Steam. I'll when I'm done, I'm done. Even if it's only for 5 minutes, I'll exit out of the game. And then
yeah, it's worth it. It's worth the price now. Back in the day, back in 2009, back in the day.
Yeah.
When these were released, though, $10 each. I don't think so.
A little steep. I would have done $10 for all easily.
Yeah, $10 for all. That makes sense.
But I don't know. I wasn't playing the game at the time, so maybe that was the respite people needed, even if it was a $10 price tag.
Maybe twice. Maybe. Well, I guess we're going to do one send-off episode to FF11 coming up soon.
Yeah.
If you have anything you want to say about that, please leave us a message on our Skype.
Yes.
385-204-3921. Or you can write it in the forums. We want to hear what you guys thought. If your final words on FF11.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a group effort thing with LBR.
Are we?
Yeah. Yeah, I talked to him about it.
Oh, okay.
Because I want their take on Final Fantasy XI since they played it from the beginning, and our take on it as well. So everyone so far, I think,
since we rushed through it at the end.
Yeah. Everyone but Aniro right now is on board to join us on.
Oh,
I think it's
cool.
November 19th is the one that you said would work best for you for a collab episode.
Sure.
So look forward to that. I do still kind of want to do something with the people who played 11 with us. I don't know. What do you want to do about that? Because
we'll figure out something.
Because I was thinking about that, and then mostly with LBR, I wanted to hear just a few thoughts, and then they were like, "Oh, you want us to join you?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah. I mean, that'd be awesome because you guys.
We can have 12 people in the chat.
Yeah, we could just have an orgy fest of talk. I guess. But yeah, look forward to that. And then for all of you who are tired of the 11 episodes, there probably won't be any more. So maybe 2 more. That's it at most 2.
And then it's a 4-parter.
Yeah, and then it's a 4-part 2, But, yeah, so look forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, Schweiss, I feel weird, but I think we got 3 questions we got to go through.
Questions for us. We would like to hear from you. You moments. Contact us on Twitter. Get on and ask your questions. We'll answer them weekly. This is the question segment. Ask and you will receive.
Oh, man.
Oh, sweet. So we have one here from Taku Amazuki titled The Future of Final Fantasy Music. So I made this question before, but I don't believe it ever got answered. I was expecting it to be answered in the Naboo segments you guys did, but it wasn't there. If you have answered this, I'm sorry. I guess I missed an episode. There have been many composers to put their talent into use in the Final Fantasy series since Naboo has heavily slowed down his contributions to the series. To give them a proper recognition, I'll list the names and what they're most known for. Hitoshi Sakamoto, Final Fantasy XII and Final Fantasy Tactics. Masashi Hamauzu, Final Fantasy XIII series, Dirge, and he helped compose for the FF4 and FF10 remakes. Okay. It's not really composing for FF10 remake, it's just remixing, I would say. Takeharu Ishimoto, Crisis Core, Dissidia Games, and Type 0. Masayoshi Soken, Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, and Onward. What?
Yeah.
Well, Onward is kind of a bold claim, as if he's going to work on a main series. There are a few more.
No, he's saying Onward with the expansions.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I get it. Okay.
What the fuck are you confused about?
I understand now.
All right.
There are a few more, but these guys have been the most prominent in the composing of the series' music. Yoko Shimomura, who has done music for games such as The Legend of Mana, Parasite Eve, and of course the Kingdom Hearts series, is now doing the music for Final Fantasy XV. The tracks I've heard so far have been top-notch. My question is, do you think one of these people will be the next Naboo, or do you think they'll keep switching composers? If you had to choose, who do you think is the best suited for the job, whether it be based on what you want to hear from a Final Fantasy OST, or just based on your personal taste in music? And for a little fun question, is there a dream composer you'd like to hear do a Final Fantasy OST, whether it be a composer from another game series, movies, or whatever? All right, so let's start it off with that part of the question. I like the 15 music a ton so far. I think it's been great.
I think the 15 music is some of the best in the series already.
I think Crisis Core Guy would be awesome, because that soundtrack was fucking amazing.
That soundtrack was really good.
I think 15's is better so far, though.
15's, I think, it's like on another...
It's a different plane.
It's like on another level.
It's epic, dude. It sounds awesome so far.
Well, here's the thing with calling someone the next Nobuo. Does the next Nobuo work on the Final Fantasy series or on a different gaming series altogether? So if we're talking about like the next long stay composer in Final Fantasy series, I doubt we'll have too many composers that go for more than like 3 games. The time between games now. Remember, Nobuo was like one of the only composers in Square for a while.
Yeah.
They only had like a handful, and now they got like a lot of composers that seem to work for them. And so when they're looking for a composer to match the game, I assume it has something to do with who the producer or the director of the game wants to work on the project.
Right.
And that it's very project based. So 15, of course, taking fucking 9.5 years to make. You're going to get someone who's on that project for 9.5 years. Whoever's doing the music for 16, who knows who it's going to be. Maybe Soken will move on, do the 16 music, and someone else will take over 14 score. I mean, that's possible. Or that Soken will continue to make the 14 music. So I don't think, because of the nature of the industry at the moment and how long the games are taking to make now, and if they're gonna do these big projects and they want them coming out every 2 years or so, they're going to be separate projects with separate groups of people working on them.
They have to be. You can't expect the guy who's doing 15s to do 16s, because hopefully they're already working on 16 now. Square Enix, we don't know, because they take for fucking ever lately.
It used to be that like the Kitase, there's the Kitase team and there's the Ito team, right? Which I don't think is... 15's not either.
Yeah.
But usually, I mean, it eventually was one team, and it split off into 2 teams almost, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's other games that other people were working on, because it's a company, it's kind of messy. But now we're at this point where it's like, there's such juggernaut titles that to expect one composer to work on multiple ones in a row and become, practical, let's say, the next Nobuo, I don't think it's practical. However, in terms of quality, I think our new, I can't remember her name, but the composer for the 15 music is amazing. She's amazing, and Soken is also amazing in his own way.
Yeah,
I think his style is a lot closer to Nobuo's style. But
really big.
So if you're going to say someone who is the next Nobuo, or someone who like takes Nobuo's stuff and continues with it, they're almost like it's almost like Nobuo is the Black Sabbath, and then we move on from there with the next great metal band.
Right, and I mean, even Sakamoto for the Final Fantasy 12 stuff, I'm really enjoying the Revenant Wings, like playing the 12 music. I'm like, oh yeah,
it's like remixes of the 12 music.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I like this track from 12.
Yeah.
I feel like I gave it a lot of shit for the soundtrack for being like uneventful, but it's everyone has their own style, and I do think it's impossible for one person to be the next Naboo because they're just too big. There's too much.
Yeah, the games don't take 1.5 years anymore to make. They take... Well, this one's taking 9.
Yeah.
14, they put out a
Depends on where you
game.
start, yeah. Where you start counting.
And then they it took another 2 years to make that game better, and then to put out a whole new different replacement game. So you can think about it. These games are taking forever now.
Yeah, they are.
I don't think it's realistic to look at one composer as the next Nobuo in that their
the sole composer.
their role for the Final Fantasy series.
All right.
Of course, I would love whoever did the 15 music. Can't remember her name. Once again, it's up further up. Whatever she did, I would love to see her compose more stuff. I think she also did the Kingdom Hearts scores. Am I right?
I don't fucking know. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts.
Okay. Anyway, I
think she has done some of those. I can't remember for sure though. So to answer these questions myself, I think they will continue to switch between the selected few and bringing in a guest composer to switch up the style a bit from time to time. I think Hamauzu, has done an excellent job with the 13 series, and wouldn't mind seeing more of him. Soken hits my personal music taste, though, and if I had to choose a dream composer, it would be Chikayo Fukuda, who has done music for the .hack series, Asura's Wrath, and the Naruto Storm games. Unfortunately, I don't think their style quite matches up to Final Fantasy standards and would probably throw a lot of fans off. Again, if you have read the question, I'm sorry I missed the episode.
Well, I think the 13 guy kind of throws off the style a little bit. I think
definitely.
It matches the game, but as a Final Fantasy score, it's weird.
It is, but it does match the game, so I think that's more important.
Yeah, you're right.
I
think you're right.
Zany game, zany soundtrack. Springs.
There are some amazing tracks in 13.
There are some good ones, yeah. As far as a dream composer, John Williams would make it sweet. a sweet Final Fantasy.
Sure. Sure.
Who could
her name is Yoko Shinomura.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Someone put it in the chat. I know it was in the thing, but I can't see it anymore.
So, we got some good responses. Shinru says he thinks he'll hire Uematsu to fully work on an upcoming game just once in order to build hype for it. 16 or 17, who knows? Batman says he thinks they'll just continue to switch composers and choose whoever has a sound that's similar to the type of atmosphere they're looking to create in the game. Naboo is amazing because he adapted his style perfectly to match the feel of the game, something that I don't think many composers would be as successful at accomplishing. It would never happen, but if Naboo never comes back, it would be amazing if Koji Kondo from the Zelda series came to compose the games. He's the only other video game composer who I feel has the ability to create music that perfectly fits with the game world, and he has been composing such great pieces of music for a long time. Zelda's got good soundtrack.
I dig the guy who did the Halo soundtrack.
Yeah. So Felicia says, I just pray they keep using good, epic music that is memorable and don't get sucked into the generic temp music trend that's going around. As Joe mentioned, we also watch Every Frame of Painting and had just seen that episode when it was mentioned. It's a trend in movies and it's seeping into games as well, save a few exceptions. I love music. It's a big part of my experience with media, and it's a crying shame that they are moving toward music you don't notice. I love that just hearing music from a game or movie or time in my life stirs up memories and emotions from those experiences so I can relive them. I hate that we are losing that because some moron thought music should be barely heard. It's pop. It's pop's fault. So as long as they keep doing what they are doing with the music and it sounds good, I'll be happy. I would love for Uematsu to live forever and always make music, but he's getting older, so I don't begrudge his shift in focus. I welcome the new composers so long as they keep it epic. And they have been, I feel.
Yeah, so this Martin O'Donnell guy did the music for Myth, Oni, Halo, and Destiny.
Oh, cool.
He's fucking awesome. He's a little too Western in taste for Final Fantasy games. When I think of a really solid soundtracks, I think of Halo and Destiny has a good soundtrack as well.
Yeah. Another question here. This one's from Shinru. Do you remember Final Fantasy VII Pepsi?
This is a very small question because it has 2 pictures of Final Fantasy VII Pepsi. I was too young to experience Final Fantasy VII Pepsi, I think. And so I'm going to go ahead and say no.
Yeah.
I don't remember Final Fantasy VII Pepsi.
Neither do I.
I was alive, but I was not into the series, and I was a little too young.
Yeah.
But it looks awesome, and I never knew it existed. So thank you, Shinru.
Yeah,
Apparently, there was a Final Fantasy and Pepsi collaboration going on.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we have one here from Felicia Nomiko titled Tactics Order. Ooh, you might have mentioned this already, and I forgot, but looking at the games to playlist, the original Tactics on PlayStation 1 is not the first game to play. Why is that? As far as I knew, and I did some Googling to check, the PlayStation 1 game was the first released in the series. Am I missing something?
No, you're not. You're not missing that part.
I have just left another review since the one I wrote a month ago or so never did get posted to iTunes. We'll see if this one posts. Stupid Apple. I do believe it did. Okay, here's why we're playing it.
Well, we may be playing it because we have talked about going, is this the right order that we should be? Can you go to the website, actually, Schweiss? It's not pulling up on my phone so we can look at it.
Our website?
Yeah, our website. UltimaFinalFantasy.com.
Is that a plug?
No, it's not, actually. It's a thing so we can look at the list on the side.
Okay, so here's how we have the list right now. Got the main series games, of course. The World of Final Fantasy IV, done. Compilation of 7, done. World of Spira, done. 11 expansions, crushed. 11 add-on scenarios, demolished. Ivalice Alliance Part 1, which is where we play Revenant Wings, because Revenant Wings is a sequel, a direct sequel. It's not its own universe. It is kind of with 12, but it was a direct Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings, okay?
Yeah.
That's why we're separating that one from the others. Now, after that, we got 13.2 Lightning Returns, the 14 expansion, soon to be expansions.
Yes.
Perfect timing for that as far as I'm concerned, looking at when it's going to come out. Ivalice Alliance Part 2. Now,
okay, this is the one where we're going through the games.
Yes, we have Tactics Advance 2, Tactics Vagrant Story, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
Okay, now this is something we haven't actually hit into yet because we have not. I made a decision early on, and now I am backtracking on it. So that decision was that whatever series we were going to go into, because sometimes they put out games in a non-linear order, to do them in story order versus the order that they came out in. However, I am having second thoughts on that, and I'm thinking we should probably start with Tactics or Vagrant Story, whichever one came first.
Why do you say that?
Because it's when those sequels came out, despite the fact that they were prequels, they were still building on the original game in that series. So Tactics Advance 2 is building on Tactics Advance despite being a prequel, right?
Okay.
Or, Tactics Advance is a prequel to
So you're
Tactics.
looking at it from the show standpoint, where we're looking at how the series evolves.
Right. Now, we already screwed that up because we did Crisis Core before we did Dirge, right? Or did we do Dirge first?
We did Crisis Core first.
We did Crisis Core first. That's right, because it was a prequel and then the sequel.
And that's why we.
And so if we were to go into Tactics, we would have the first one in the linear line is what is the list that I put up. That's what I put up as far as like within the world of the game. When did these events occur?
Yeah.
And so it would make one of the Tactics Advanced games come up. You clicked away from it, so I can't see it anymore.
Well, Shinra has it listed right here. He's fucking looked.
Oh, I didn't look.
Although his is wrong, I guess.
So Tactics Advance 2 is the one chronologically that comes first, then Tactics, and then Vagrant Story, and then Tactics Advance.
And you have a problem with that?
I'm just kind of iffy with it now because we don't get to see that series grow on its own.
We don't, but we've already thrown that under the bus. I don't know how I feel about this. Because I honestly, personally, it doesn't really matter. We're going to play the Tactics games regardless.
Right.
So should we play it in order of their release to see the Tactics series advance? Little play on words. Or should we play it in the chronological order? This is tough. If you were to have someone play a game series like Metal Gear Solid, Would you have them start with 3 and then
played
play
3
1?
first.
3 is the prequel.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't have to play the other ones to get it.
Well,
great.
That's because it's the beginning of the storyline. So I would suggest the same. I would suggest they play 3 first, and then they play 1 and
2,
then
and 4.
Yeah, I think it would be 3, 5, I believe, then 1, 2, and 4.
I don't know about the chronology.
But that's how I would have them play it, because I want them to experience the confusing as hell story that can be Metal Gear Solid in proper order to try to make sense of it.
Huh.
So, I don't know. I kind of like sticking to the chronological order. I know it does sort of piss on the idea.
It fucks up the Mana series a lot, let me tell you that.
Yeah.
And Kingdom Hearts series, it'll fuck that up a lot.
Well, the nice thing about Mana is the one that we were going to have trouble getting a hold of. That's the one that was remade into, I believe it was Explorers, is the remake of the one Mana game that we were going to never get a hold of. So we can play that instead. But I don't know. I kind of like chronological order as opposed to when they came out. And I know that's against.
I mean, when you watch the Star Wars series, come on.
You watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You go right through 1, 2, and 3, and then
drunk. Yes.
Yeah, and then you watch the real trilogy.
And then you watch the new one.
Then you can watch the new one.
Yeah, that's why I like keeping it how it is, and I feel like we'll still be able to notice. We're going to know the Tactics was the first one, and we can see, oh, okay. When we get to Tactics, we can see where Tactics Advance 2 improved and where it lost its way. So, I don't know.
Yeah, well, the problem with doing it in that order is that maybe it'll do a callback to something else in another game.
And we won't know.
And you won't know the setup or
That's true.
like that.
That might alter the experience. But if that does happen, guys who have played these games multiple times, let us know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the same with the Kingdom Hearts series. That one's also going to be, currently we have it listed as playing in the order of the story.
Yeah.
And same with the Dissidia games.
Yep.
So despite the fact that the second Dissidia game is the prequel, we will be playing that one first.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll play it first because it's before it chronologically.
Yeah.
It's anarchy, and it is dumb in this context because we're going to play what could be a more refined version of the game and then go to the crappier one. We don't know
Could be.
Though. It might not be, though.
At least in terms of gameplay.
Yeah. They usually try to touch up on some of that stuff. So,
yes.
That is the order of the show. So, thank you for your questions on that. And are you still cool with sticking to chronological order? Since it's kind of what we've done?
I am. Shinra is saying that we're slightly wrong on chronological order, and we'll double check before we go on to there.
Yeah, so whatever it happens to be, we're going to do it. But, of course, we know Final Fantasy XII and Final Fantasy XII's direct sequel, Revenant Wings, are the earliest in the series. So we're good so far. We haven't screwed it up yet, but we'll definitely review that and make sure it is correct as far as our order is concerned. Oh, man, you guys are lucky. I thought it was going to happen with the no reviews last week, but we did our full-on review of Kingslave, so we didn't have the segment. And luckily enough, there is one for this week. Let's read that.
iTunes Reviews. iTunes Reviews.
Well, iTunes review, I suppose. This one's titled Sleeper Hit by Blue156, a 5-star review. I have just recently returned to an iPhone after 10 years, so I missed the podcasts. I was looking one day for something to listen to on my drive to work.
Is the iPhone 10 years old?
I have no idea.
Someone shoot me.
I was looking one day for something to listen on my drive to work and just happened to search to see if anyone really talked about Final Fantasy, and bam, there you guys are. I am currently listening to all of the recent podcasts while every Monday getting the latest. You guys and your reviews are the best. I grew up with these games, and it's great to hear different views on my favorite games of all time. So if anyone really enjoys Final Fantasy and wants to hear different views on them, I highly recommend this.
Sweet.
Must be a Big 8 fan or something. different views really stood out. Thank you, though. Thank you for the review. We really appreciate
it. We strive to be the ultimate Final Fantasy podcast.
It's true. I mean, really, is it really that hard, though? I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, you do have to play 11.
Yeah, you do.
I think that filters out a lot of other Final Fantasy podcasts.
Yeah, including one that did 11. Dig. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding.
All right. So,
I don't think we really have much of a question from us to you.
Actually, I got a question from us to you.
You sure?
Yeah.
We haven't done the 11 one yet, though. Like, it's still...
I know. That one's still up for sale.
So we're going to have two?
I have a question from us to you.
All right.
Questions. All right. So, my question from us to you guys. Now, I know that the order of this podcast is really weird. And since the beginning that we've been doing this podcast, people have been going, why don't you just do it chronologically, do the games as they came out or whatever.
Never.
Every game. And that was a good idea. But I wanted to play the main series first. In order to justify that, I then had to create this new order that is kind of skiwampus. Now, we will be getting to the Ivalice games, we will be getting to the Kingdom Hearts games, and the Mana series. All three of those, and possibly the Crystal Chronicle games. All of those have games that are prequels but are listed as sequels and stuff like that.
Yes.
So when it comes to the big series that I know you guys are familiar with, I'm not sure how many of you guys have played Crystal Chronicles. I don't think too many of our listeners have played Crystal Chronicles or played the majority of the Mana series or anything like that. But if you were to give a new player a series, one of these sub-series, Kingdom Hearts or Ivalice, what order would you like them to play in? I would like to hear input from the listeners about that.
Okay. So chronological or order of release?
Chronological or order of release, I would like to know. Or would you do like Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 and then do the other stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3, then the 358 divided by 2 days.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck that means. How would you guys do it? Yeah, that's a good question. That's good. I have no idea how it will be answered, but I don't know, we'll take it into consideration when we're coming up on these Ivalice Alliance and so on and so forth.
So while we take that into consideration, how about you guys take into consideration going to our Facebook page and clicking the old like button. You can also go to youtube.com/Ultima Final Fantasy and press subscribe there. You can tweet me at Joseph DeGillier.
Me at UFF Podcast.
You can see us do the episodes live on Twitch every Saturday morning, and you can also see us play the games live if we can. I guess Revenant Wings won't let you, but
nope.
You know, when we get to the next game, we'll get there.
3DS.
Last but not least, you can visit our website, ultimafinalfantasy.com. Please join our forums. That's where you answer the questions from us to you. And you can also support the show by clicking through the Amazon link there. And if you want, you can support us on Patreon, $1 a month. Gives you the episodes as soon as we're done mixing them, and it gives you access to our drunken Advent Children commentary.
Yes, it does. I guess that's it for this week, guys.
Yeah. We'll see you next week.
Enjoy the MOBA / whatever grind.
This has been another production of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. The show was produced by Joseph DeGollier and Caleb Schweiss, with music and editing by Joseph DeGollier, parodies and clips from their respective authors, of course. You can get all of our episodes as well as our Let's Plays at ultimafinalfantasy.com. You can also contact us on Twitter at UFF Podcast, as well as our contact page on our website. Be sure to subscribe and review our podcast. Your reviews may get read on the show, and look forward to the next episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast.
Hey guys, so the remix we used today is actually from Mog's Mixtape, a Final Fantasy remixed collaboration album that features over 30 artists and 2 hours worth of covers. We're going to go ahead and have little links to pick up the album if it's something you're interested in. And we were approached by Alan Brosh to kind of promote this thing, and I'm pretty impressed with the music, so I hope you guys check it out, and if you feel so inclined, pick it up, but enjoy. And I just wanted to make sure to give them a shout out for providing this excellent remix for today's episode.